I'll do this when I've actually got a sketch. This is stupid.
You know when someone pitches you an idea and they throw all these buzz phrases at you, like it's gonna surprise you at every turn, it'll be like nothing you've seen before, it'll give you everything, but it'll leave you wanting more. Well that is the first episode of The Mandalorian. Or at least that's what a nerd boy would say when writing a hyperbolic essay on 40 minutes of pop culture television. I, on the other hand, would just say, oh my god, that was pretty good. Let's discuss. Right from the very first frame, this is Star Wars. The promised Western style is plastered on its heavily armoured sleeve, it's well worn and it's gritty. The world's alive and chaotic in some scenes, but dead and barren in others. There's puppets and practical creatures aplenty, and the few CG creations are insane. Like, insane. Even the odd clunky CG feels very purposefully 80s, kind of like a bit of stop-motion puppetry. But in this modern age, it's hard not to be taken out of the moment, especially when butted up against such incredible cinematography. And speaking of things you can see with your eyes, The Mandalorian is best seen with your eyes. Every shot is so purposeful, every inch of the frame feels planned. There's shots like this with the Mandalorian walking alone, tiny against the barren landscape behind him. And then stuff like, well, actually take this frame, add some grain, distortion, filter it into the 70s, and voila! This could easily be from the original film. The tone, however, is a little mixed, and I can't quite work out if it's a good or a bad thing just yet. We open with a fairly strong, serious tone, minimal dialogue, hard-hitting action. It's amazing, it's the bounty hunting series we've all dreamed of. But then there's this. It's odd, especially in a 38-minute opening episode, to be flipping between so many different styles and tones. It feels almost like 3 short films stitched together, and maybe it is. The entire episode is kind of structured like a pilot, or at least something for investors. Here's our main character, here's our world, here's a hint of a larger story, leave them wanting more, leave them wanting to give you their money. And look, this episode certainly did that, and with longer run times, it might all meld together into a pretty cool Star Wars saga come December 27th. But for now, it kind of felt a little clunky. Now, plot-wise, there's not much, but there's enough. It's certainly driven by the Mando, giving him tasks to fly and ride towards. Again, really not worth judging based on this first episode, but the characters we get to meet are all pretty iconic already. In the way that a lot of Star Wars characters do, they visually tell us everything we need to know from our first sight. Take one look at this dude, flanked by troopers, aging and sunken, clearly worn down but still clutching onto the empire he once served. The Mandalorian himself is still a bit of a mystery, though it seems we might get a trickle of backstory throughout the series, which might open up his past, present, and in the future. What does that mean? Don't know, I wrote it and it sounded cool. The little we get from him in this episode is kind of a mix of Clint Eastwood and Peter Quill. He certainly borders a Marvel hero, but still stays in the confines of the Star Wars universe. Rest easy, nerds, and staying on Marvel, the jokes here are actually pretty good. Nothing overstays its welcome or breaks the tension, its setup, its payoff, and maybe a justified one-liner as well. Second to my love of comedy, Star Wars, and everything I've already talked about is music, and my goodness, I'll talk more about it in the spoiler section, but Ludwig has graced us with a bunch of lovely octaves and semitones. I love music, I don't understand music. The score seemed to swing between modern bass, not modern bass, like ambient drums and like techno music. It's very un-Star Wars, but cool. And playful John Williams-like stuff seamlessly. Similar to the show's tone, I'm super interested to listen to it evolve over the series. And we easily can, because they're putting up the full score on streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music as the episodes go up, so we can all geek out about the music together in full. It's very exciting. But you know what else is exciting? Is spoilers, and if you haven't seen the episode, I do suggest leaving, because I'm about to geek out for the next 4 minutes. In 3, 2, 1... Did they really end the episode with that? A big twist in the Star Wars universe, something no one could have seen coming. They killed off Taika in the first episode. How dare they? IG-11, bringing yet another unique droid personality to the franchise was super fun. And man did he look like a practical prop. The way he aggressively clicks and whizzed into places was so mechanical and janky. It really made you feel like Star Wars. I'm really intrigued to know what happens to IG-11 now, seeing as he's dead. I assume he'll be back. You can just fix a droid. And it might just be kind of a reoccurring gag that people get angry, shoot him, they fix him, and maybe he gets grumpier about it over time. They're basically treating him like everyone would love to treat C-3PO. But the biggest twist, the biggest thing in this episode, we all know it, of course. A Life Day reference. So the Star Wars Holiday Special is canon, and old Mando zapping that daddy walrus away was super reminiscent of Bubba's first appearance in that special. Also, carbon freezing is now available in Tesla Model M. And there was a toilet. 3 big canon updates in the first 10 minutes. How exciting. Now, the Mandalorians are still around, and I'm so happy they are, because I was worried we were going to do another solo Star Wars Survivor story, and we can't have another one of them. People don't have to all die. We get a full-on Mandalorian clan living underground, making armor and looking badass. Is that Boba Fett? Boba Fett. Where? The whole melting down to form his armor is such a video game upgrading cutscene thing, and I think I'm okay with it. At least for now. It was a little bit of corny world building, but the flashbacks that came with it were pretty cool, and the fact they were cut to the ding of the armor being made, Favreau did an Iron Man. I will take an entire episode set during the Purge if it means clankers and clones in live action though. Feel free to give us as much Purge content as possible. The plentiful returning alien species were a welcome inclusion too. Aside from the rare Twi'lek or Mon Cala, the Disney films have lacked that kind of strong alien Star Wars continuity, and the less we say about this, the better. And of course, this little guy's I have spoken. Is destined for memedom, and they knew that. God, I dread going on Reddit from now on. Now, the best thing, obviously, is the end credits. I mean, come on, look at these. The incredible score set to the incredible concept art of the action we just lived. It's so unique and a great way to pay homage to the great Ralph McQuarrie. This entire franchise was built off concept art, and on that score, try telling me this isn't inspired at least a little bit by Temple of Doom. And yes, let's just talk about that little green alien in the room, or we should just cut to Will reacting to the last few minutes of the episode. No way. There was a big rumor going around that the first episode of the series was going to reveal some big Star Wars lore twist, and I'm not going to lie, the poop reveal was more than enough for me, but I'll take this as well. The design of Baby Yodish is perfect, exaggerating everything but keeping him all wrinkly. It's like a pug and a frog had a baby. Having the Mando assumedly take him in just adds to the Western vibes as well. I'm hoping he keeps the little dude and there's that constant struggle from the Empire and from bounty hunters. Why did they want him dead alive? Why did they want to test him? Is his cot floating via hover mechanics, or is he using the Force? There's so many questions, and I'm so glad they held off this reveal so well, but I'm also glad I watched this episode when I did, because it's certainly out there. Oh, I am well excited, friends. Whilst it's by no means a perfect episode, there is more than enough here to gawk at and be intrigued by and want to see this series through. I am so happy with how this is looking. I'm just hoping as it goes on, maybe everything will kind of coalesce and make a little bit more sense. But for now, I'm having a lot of fun. Are you having a lot of fun? Let me know down in the comments. And don't worry, if I do another one of these, I hope it won't be as long. There's just a lot to digest as it's a first episode and a brand new creation. But let me know if you like this creation as well as the Mandalorian creation down in the comments. You can hit subscribe and do other things.